Okay, calling back to order this meeting of the House Children, Families, Finance, and Policy Committee. I'll note that I think this evening's hearing will be quite short, and I appreciate members. We have a very people on our video cannot see. We have a very tiny audience, but we're grateful to those who are here. You are a terrific audience, though. Members, we had quite an intense hearing this morning between the presentation by Representative Nash, the final bill by Representative Freiberg, and just a lot going on. I appreciate members hanging in there and just want to make sure, that we continue to do the work of democracy together, recognizing how challenging that can be. And maybe I'll leave that at that for now. But I want to then make our way through and have Representative Hanson head up, if she can, for her bill. One moment. So Representative Hanson moves House File 4898 for referral to the General Register.
Thank you, Chair.
Yep, and so that is your motion. I do not see any amendments, and so please present your bill.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, committee members. I am back with round 2 of FAME, as promised, to continue to expand this program to help more people. House File 4898 is a bill to expand on the FAME support that you all showed me last year. As a reminder, FAME is the Family Assets for Independence in Minnesota program, which is a match savings program with financial coaching for working people living under low incomes. The funds can be used to build assets in education, housing, vehicles, emergencies, and economic development purposes. This bill clarifies the definition of household so that people living under the same roof but not sharing the same financial arrangements would not be considered one financial unit. As an example, roommates in an apartment, which most youth these days, my daughter's 19 years old, and most every one of her friends, they do not live independently because of the cost of rent. But the roommates in an apartment could disqualify each other from participating because of their combined income, even though it's very clear that their dollars are not combined. It also amends the income eligibility guidelines so that the agency can use either 50% or less of an area median income or less than 200% of the federal poverty line, whichever is greater, to determine income eligibility. The income eligibility is set at 200% or less of the federal poverty line, which is generally fine, but in the case of single wage earners, many are just over that income eligibility. This population would be an ideal group to receive the FAME to support their journey to economic self-sufficiency, but that federal income guideline just barely excludes them. So this will allow FAME to reach more people and do more of the good work that you all supported me in last year. And then I will turn this over to the chair and the members for questions. I don't know if my testifiers are here.
Testifier does not appear to be here. We can give, do we know if they're, so in our large audience, is there any member of the public who wish to testify? There's several sergeant arms that perhaps will not be, and I don't know if there's anybody else who wishes. I do not see anyone. Representative Hanson, are we aware of your testifier not about to burst in the door?
I mean, I have not heard from them, but I think that we can have a conversation about this, and should they show up in a moment. Otherwise, I am happy to collect a written testimony and share that with the committee after the fact and potentially have it posted as well, if that would be okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so we are then ready for any member discussion or questions. Representative Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative Hanson. I appreciate you providing an example of what the intent of your language is because, to give you a little peek into our thought process, we were looking at this language and kind of asking ourselves, what is she trying to do? Like, is this, it just seemed undeterminative in terms of what the exclusion for consideration of household income was. So would it be fair to say that your intention is not to exclude, say, a spouse or like a working teenager or somebody along those lines?
Representative Hanson, pardon
Thank you, Chair Pinto. Try to go through the chair and make
I appreciate that.
Even though it's late in the evening here.
Distracting.
Yes, is the answer. We just want to make sure that the folks that FAME is aimed at helping are people who don't have a lot of assets I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 17 years old. I would have been a prime, person to work with FAME and really would have benefited from it. My family taught me how to avoid bill collectors, not build credit. And so this is something that would have helped me. But I would have probably gone a little bit over on this because I had a roommate at one point in time, though our money was never combined. It was just to keep a roof over me and our children's heads. So,
Representative Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, as I look back on my dwelling with roommate years, I'm sure some of them could have arguably been contributing more than others. But I appreciate what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Would you entertain the possibility offline of looking at language that further specified that that's what you're aiming at as opposed to potentially opening it up to immediate family members?
Representative Hanson.
thank you, Chair, and thank you, Representative Hudson. Of course, we're always looking at making sure we can expand FAME to as many folks as possible. This has received bipartisan support. Match savings programs are a great way to help people build assets, and so the further we go, the better. I just made a commitment to you all last year that I would bring more forward and continue to expand this to make it available to more folks.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Representative Zalesnikar. Oh, she's good. Okay. Any, no problem. Other questions or discussions, members? Okay, not seeing any. So Representative Hanson, you get final words on your bill.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, committee members, not just for today's hearing, but for your ongoing support of FAME and making sure that we can help more folks achieve financial independence. Thank you.
Okay, with that, Representative Hanson renews her motion that House File 4898 be recommended for placement on the general register. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes, and the bill is on its way. So I'm going to make it my way up to the testifier table.
I think we're going to start with House File 4732. Chair Pinto, as you get settled, let me know when you're ready. Next on the agenda is our early learning vehicle bill. Chair Pinto, please proceed with your bill. You have a motion that House File 4732 be re-referred to the General Registry.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks, members. So just to pause and orient everybody, these final bills on the agenda, and I'll note that there was originally another bill on this agenda, which is part of the reason we were thinking that we were going to be filling up this time this evening, and then that bill ended up being pulled by the member in question. And so House File 4732 is, as the chair said, an early learning vehicle bill. What that means is that this is a bill that would be available if we're able to reach an agreement with the other body to have a conference committee relating to early learning, specifically that this could potentially assist with that process. I will say candidly, members, and happy to talk with you all offline as well, that continues to be a challenge, figuring out how to line up the pieces of this committee with the pieces over there in the Senate. And so this provides some flexibility and opportunity for that. And so would ask members' support to have that set up for the vehicle bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have any testifiers listed. Is there anybody in the audience or members of the public that would like to testify on this vehicle bill? Seeing none. Discussion to the bill. Okay, seeing none. Chair Pinto renews his motion that House File 4732 be re-referred to the General Registry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. House File 4732 is re-referred to the General Registry. In your same packet, in the same green folder, you should have House File 5033. That's the one we'll be moving on to next. So we have another vehicle bill. Chair Pinto moves that House File 5033 be re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary, Finance and Civil Law. Chair Pinto, please take a minute to tell us about your bill.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, so then this is another vehicle bill, and the purpose of this, members, is that as we have some provisions, and I'm thinking especially of the work that's coming out of the Legislative Task Force on Child Protection. There's some pieces, some bills that have been introduced, and I'm expecting us to be hearing relating to fatality reviews, so reviews where there's been a death of a child or a near death, relating to reform of the system. There's some components that may relate to data practices and judiciary issues. And so in order to be able to accommodate deadlines and sort of make things work, the plan is to send a 5033 to judiciary, and then to the extent that we would need to then put on there any provisions that relate to data practices or need to be heard in the Judiciary Committee, we have a bill available for that purpose. And kind of allowing, since we're now at the deadline and won't be able to move bills forward without having to send them to rules, this is a way to do that. So I'd ask for members' support just for that flexibility. To confirm any substantive provisions, of course, would be coming through our committee anyway, but this allows for the judiciary components. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, don't see any testifiers for this. Giving a minute for any public testimony. Seeing none, discussion on the bill. Seeing none, Chair Pinto renews his motion that House File 5033 is re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary, Finance, and Civil Law. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion passes. House File 5033 is re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary, Finance, and Civil Law. Moving to the last bill, 4980. In front of us, 4980. Chair Pinto has one final bill to present. This is the Human Services Forecast Bill, House File 4980. Chair Pinto moves that House File 4980 be re-referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. Chair Pinto, please tell us about the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So members, we had a couple weeks ago a early learning forecast bill. It was actually, I think we had the whole bill in front of us, all of education, finance, but we discussed the portion relating to early learning. It got sent to Ways and Means. And so this is the equivalent of that for the DHS portion of our committee's jurisdiction. I don't feel like we did a very good job of explaining what that bill was at the time in this committee, because I was sort of stumbling over it. But fortunately, we have Mr. Berg here, who, Madam Chair, if you're willing, he could explain to us better than I can about what this bill is about.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, members, yes, as Chairman Pinto explained, this is the forecast article which lines the forecast that just came out last month up. It makes that happen. So when you saw the headlines about this is how much money we have and what has happened to the budget, this adjusts all the appropriations from Human Services that are forecasted from what was appropriated last year. There have been two forecasts. This catches the state budget up to the changes that occurred in those two forecasts. And specific to this committee are lines 2.5 through 2.9 and 2.13. Are the forecasted programs that are within this committee's jurisdiction, which is MFIP childcare, and the North Star Care for Children, which is adoption and foster care and kinship assistance.
Chair Pinto?
Thank you, Chair. And maybe Mr. Berg could confirm, I believe that this bill is a clone of a bill carried by Chair Liebling, and so those other lines are in the jurisdiction of Chair Liebling, and so then these bills kind of, each of them gets heard in the proper committee, and then Ways and Means, one bill advances, probably the Liebling bill.
Madam Chair, that's correct. This bill is going to go, both bills are going to go to Ways and Means is going to move one of them to the floor.
Chair Pinto?
Nothing further to add. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone present wishing to testify? Seeing none. Discussion on the bill. Wow, I'm so good at this, right? We're really like moving this right along. Okay, seeing no further discussion, Chair Pinto renews his motion on House File 4980 to be re-referred to Committee of Ways and Means. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The motion passes. House File 4980 is re-referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. Chair Pinto, do you have anything else you would like to say?
I just want to say thank you to members for their patience and their work today and this week, and we will see everybody on Thursday morning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.